Ahoy! Hello everybody, it is 12:11 a.m. for me right now. I should be in bed, but I couldn't sleep. The existential dread of my mind was aching a little bit too much. And so I got on Reddit and I was just kind of chilling out, and I came over to see this post that a friend of mine, Topher, posted on Reddit. And as some of you know, I was banned from /r/gaming. I have not been back since I was banned. This is the first time I've been here since. And but Topher, he posts, I made this announcement today over here. See, up there, no, further up, right here. And I tagged everybody. It was a big deal for me because I'd been working really hard on getting the wall running and stuff polished out and whatnot. And this is at 1:05, and at 1:18 Topher saw that and posted this and put it on Reddit, sent it to me. I was like, whoa, that's awesome, because we haven't had a Reddit post other than on my own subreddit in months, like 6 or 7 months, I think, if not more. And as you guys know, I've been banned from /r/gaming. I think I just said that, I'm not sure. Whatever, I was banned and I've not been back since. But anyway, so I came down here and I started reading through the comments, and I already knew the comments were going to be hot garbage, because that's just how Reddit is. And I've posted on gaming before, and it's always been super duper bad. It's just been a shithole, I'll be honest. But I just kind of want to go through some of these, because I've always wanted to read through these and be like, no, this is why you're stupid. But I never got around to. I never got the courage. And you know what? It's 12 o'clock. I'm feeling pretty dumb. You know, I'm ready. I'm ready for this. So I'm just going to go through these comments and just read some of them. And explain why it's stupid. Basically. Anyway, let's get into it. So the first comment, I actually don't mind. That's great. Thank you. Titanfall movement, I like it. And I think a lot of the confusion here comes from, it's not an accident that this is like Titanfall. It's not on accident, you know. It's intentional, and that's not an uncommon thing either. People are acting like I'm the only one doing this, but have you ever played the game Ravenfield? That's just a battlefield game. It even has field in the name. Have you ever played the game Dusk? Which is a great game, by the way. If you haven't, you should play it. Dusk is literally just Blood or Doom kind of mixed together. They're two AAA games at the time, I guess, technically AAA. And made into its own unique thing. And it's completely normal to do that. There's plenty of games. If you guys have ever heard of the game Splitgate, I'm just pulling these off the top of my head, by the way. This is not coming from anywhere. Splitgate is a Halo game. It's meant to be like Halo. There's a game mode called Teabag Confirmed, for Christ's sake. You know, this is a completely normal thing to do. Forget the Orange Door, I take a lot of inspiration from Halo and from Titanfall, you know? There's even a gun in the game called the Breach Rifle. The Breach Rifle. And it's a DMR. That looks exactly like the DMR. I'm not an original person, but it's also not super duper uncommon for people in the indie game scene to do that kind of thing. So it's not really like, that's out of there, right? But we're going to scroll down a little bit, and this guy here says, isn't this the training simulator with off colors from Titanfall 2? Looks the same with the tree and everything. So this guy's talking about the Gauntlet. And I'll throw up some footage of the Gauntlet here real fast. And I'm just going to say it. This doesn't look anything like the Gauntlet. At all. Like, if you could look for yourself to see if this looks like the Gauntlet to you. But if you've ever played Titanfall 2 and you know what the Gauntlet looks like, then you know that's not what it is. He said, yeah, this is the opening level of Titanfall 2, almost exactly recreated with the Tron effect and simplified geometries. Again, it's not, though. And this guy below it says it pretty well, but doesn't have nearly as much, you know, visibility here with the upvotes. In concept, yeah, but the actual level layout is way off. It's close in appearance, but it's definitely not a one-to-one swap or anywhere near it. It's nothing close. Anyway, moving on. I was going to say the layout is almost exactly the Titanfall 2 tutorial. Again, it's not. We're going to keep going. That's getting old. That's getting old. We're going to scroll down a little bit. I appreciate the indie game dev grind, but why would anyone buy this game over Titanfall 2? It has the AAA polish on it, and it goes deep discount sales pretty often. It's literally $5 right now. Will this be $5? I think you're missing who the audience of this game is. This audience is for Titanfall players, people who liked Titanfall, people who want to play more Titanfall, or maybe people who want to play Titanfall in a kind of different setting, or a little bit of a different, like, tweaked a little bit. It's kind of what the point of this is. It's not meant to compete with Titanfall. It's meant to go right alongside Titanfall. Why not buy both? And I've told people this. When people ask me this question, I'm like, do you own Titanfall? If they say no, I said, completely ignore Get to the Orange Door, buy Titanfall. But once you're done with Titanfall, and you want more because it's a 4-hour, 6-hour campaign, then come over to Get to the Orange Door. And if you look at the concepts in Get to the Orange Door, if you look at the gameplay, there's a lot of endless modes. There's a lot of arcade modes. The game is points based. There's a lot of things like that that's meant to focus on replayability. You know, random guns out of grab-a-guns and random equipment, a bunch of different stuff like that. It's the point. What's with all the shameless self-promotion on the sub? So saying, hey guys, check out my game is not okay, but check out my friend's game is okay. First off, let's talk about self-promotion. If people didn't want self-promotion, this wouldn't have 3,000 upvotes and 81%, 83% upvoted. And this is nothing compared to, you know, what other posts have gotten. My last post got 76,000 upvotes, and it was a post by me. People want it. So why not have it? Why is that such a bad thing? If it's in good taste and it's not getting downvoted, why is that a big problem? There's actually, yes, that's a site-wide rule. It has nothing to do with any subreddit. You can't self-promote. It's supposed to keep Reddit from being an advertisement fest and keep posts organic. The very obvious loophole is, hey, look what my friend made, definitely not me. This is Topher. This is not me. They're assuming. The subreddit doesn't need to fix the problem. Reddit does, site-wide. If it was such a problem, why would it be upvoted? If people really hated it, you wouldn't see it. People don't like, okay, there's certain subreddits for people that like seeing people's heads chopped off, but if you were to post on a normal subreddit, it would get downvoted. And that's a perfect filtration system to determine what people want and what people don't want. So if this is a huge site-wide problem, you wouldn't see this. If people really do hate this, if it wasn't a conflicted thing, you wouldn't see it. Yeah, and why is this game upvoted so hard? I don't know how to politely say it. It doesn't look good at all or show anything.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man.
This guy words it so well. I love this. I haven't read this yet, so this is my first time, but I prefer over the constant circle jerk shit posting of the same jokes and memes day in and day out. At least this way I get to see actual games in a gaming subreddit, not just, hey, here's my cosplay of XXX character, or hey, meme format that has been used a couple of thousand times before. Seeing games in a gaming subreddit is 100 times better than that, in my opinion. Dude, how is that wrong? How is he wrong? He gets 2 points. This dude up here gets 120. If we're going to talk about the constant circle jerk, what's the constant circle jerk about not wanting people to show off their games? How do you think you're going to find more games if they don't come to you about it? Let's talk about Steam for a second. Steam doesn't fucking help. There's like 73 games released a day, if not more, on Steam. You think you're going to sift through 73 games every single day with your morning coffee? No, devs who actually work on their games, devs who actually try their best, have to come to you. That's what marketing is. This guy's just saying he doesn't like marketing. Why not? That's the point. Anyway, we're going to move. He's going to get sued by Titanfall makers. Laugh out loud. Listen, if you could sue for inspiration, no games would ever have been created ever. Okay? Imagine if you could sue for making a first-person shooter after somebody had made the first-person shooter. Right? I don't know what the first FPS game was, but I'm just going to bring up an early one. Wolfenstein. Let's say Wolfenstein copyrighted first-person shooters. Every first-person shooter you've ever played would not exist. Because it takes inspiration. It says, oh, I like that. I'm going to add my own thing to it. I'm add my own twist to it. It's not a one-to-one remake of Titanfall. It has its own thing. Maybe you didn't glean that from a 10-second long GIF, but maybe you also shouldn't be assuming that it is. I don't know, that's just me. The gun animations are exactly the same. Gun model leans to the left slightly and moves toward the center of the screen when crouched in the air. This is literally just Titanfall 2 with a different skin. Your gun model moves to the left, and now it's literally just Titanfall. There are other games that handle crouching that way, because it's the best way to show when you're crouching. As opposed to, what would you like me to do? Had I not made my gun lean to the left, would this be fine? This would be great, you know? I don't understand the logic here. There is none. It's the reason I don't understand it. Hint, that's also just a Tron skin on the R201. See, that looks nothing like the R201. Give me a second. One moment here, friends. Assault rifle. Turn it on. Inspector view. If it doesn't freeze. Zoom on in. Ignore the other arms. That's an R201? Let's just look up an R201 real fast. R201. Oh, yeah. Same thing, right? What? Are you kidding? Okay. 7 points. That's fine. So basically, Titanfall 2, that training part where you gotta beat the time. There's another one. There's another one just like that. Where's the parkour? Okay, dude. Come on. Don't be a fucking dick. My buddy. 22 points. This guy's just assuming I made this post for no reason. Why? What gave him that idea? It's Tron Titanfall. Yeah, you right. So Titanfall with a skin, and it's more expensive than Titanfall. Hey, listen, it's not my fault that EA docked the prices down to $5. That's EA's fault. Okay, Titanfall's worth a lot more than $5. I like this logic here. Because a game is $5 after, what, 2-3 years of being out? I don't remember when it came out. Because a game is $5, all other games that take inspiration from that game now must be $5 or lower. Yep. Ripped from Titanfall. This is the one I was waiting for. This is the one I was waiting for. Alright, here's the thing. This is C#. That's C#. This is Unity, a different engine. I've been waiting for this one. Titanfall is made in the Source engine. An entirely different engine, which uses C++ as its native programming language. You can't, that's not just a thing you can just lift and put in Unity. That's so stupid to think that. And even then, let's say even if you did lift it and put it into Unity, you'd still have to have all the assets working correctly in something, a lovely thing called the inspector. And it's this thing where you have to assign all the variables, and there's even some done not even visibly, you know, just all this fancy stuff. That's not easy to do, okay? And arguably it'd be easier to just make the game from scratch, which is, you know, what I've done, you know? It's just, it's so stupid that people say it's ripped from Titanfall. This guy has 7 points, and he bases this on nothing. On nothing. And people agree with him. That's the craziest part. It's not that people are stupid. It's that people are stupid and other stupid people agree with them. That's the crazy thing. So a shitty version of Titanfall 2 that is probably more expensive than Titanfall 2 is at this point. So he says probably more expensive, which means he hasn't even seen the game's Steam page, which means he hasn't played the game, which means he's calling it a shitty version of Titanfall 2 without even playing it. There's an inspired game, then there's a blatant clone. This is a blatant clone of Titanfall 2. The slide gun animation, everything is the same. Shame. Listen, buddy. I don't think you're the one to judge what inspiration is versus what clone is. It's not a clone. It's obviously not a clone. If you've played the game, you know it's not a clone. It's just, that's the obvious thing. He hasn't played the game. 54 points. This is my favorite one. I saw this earlier. 5 points. Just going to take a little code from Titanfall. He's basing that on nothing, just like the other guy mentioned. You know, it's not based on anything. I didn't take any code. These guys don't know how code works. They play video games, they're in a gaming subreddit, and they have no idea how any of it works. And this is so funny, because little baby Andrew, long before I got into game development, when I was probably 12, maybe 13, and I had just really started playing games seriously, I was playing Oblivion, and even I knew that that's not how that worked. You know, that's not how code and game stuff works. You can't just say, I'm going to take this code, which is freely available, and put it in a different engine, because that's stupid. It's a reskin of Titanfall 2 down to the gun bobbing and tilting. There's no way that it's not just a reskin with some custom map. See, this is the great thing. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to tie this into the one right below it. I paused there. So you're making Titanfall 2 again? Boy, gonna get sued. This is the thing that keeps on coming up with this. Let's go on the belief that I did take the code from Titanfall, and that this is fake. This isn't actually the game. This is not where Get to the Orange Door is. Get to the Orange Door is not in Unity. My gun's gonna disappear here because you're not supposed to have it enabled when you start. But let's just say this isn't in Unity. This is, I'm playing a video recording right now of me playing the game within Unity. But it actually, the game runs in Source, right? Let's say that. And I did actually copy all the code, and I'm ripping off of them, even though they're using a custom unavailable version of Source engine that nobody else has. Let's say I got my dirty, grubby hands on it, right? And they saw it, which I know they've seen it, because I literally talked to some employees from Respawn today, ex-employees, but I talked to them today. Let's say they saw that, right? They would sue me, because I just ripped their stuff. I just ripped things that I can't use legally. They would sue me. Here's the thing, though. Respawn makes video games, and they have a semi-good idea of what Source looks like, and what their own stuff looks like, and also how code works when you're translating it into a different engine. And they probably have a good idea of saying, huh, I don't think he did that. And so, you notice, I haven't gotten sued yet, is the primary thing you should take from this. So, I'm sure your buddy really put a lot of time into copy-pasting Titanfall. 5 points. Yeah, I did, actually. It took a long time to copy the code and hacker voice my way into their database to steal it and put it in my own game. Because that's what I did. Hey, look, it's a Titanfall clone. This is the funny thing as well. People will jump up in arms and say, that's a clone. But they will praise the 26th Final Fantasy game that plays exactly like the last one. Or they'll be like, oh, thank God they made this HD remake of a game that's less than a year old. Looking at you, Last of Us. Dude, this is insane. Boy, I can't believe they HD remaked Grand Theft Auto 5 a year after it came out for new consoles and sold it again. Wow, great job. Now this is a clone, right? Fuck this guy. Oh my god, it's just such a fucking hypocritical thing to say. Because people will just lap shit up for an HD remake of a game that already exists. But when somebody has to go through and recreate all this stuff to put it into a new environment, to give their own vision on something they love, fuck them. Laugh out loud, nah. Thank you, Oblivious, your name is accurate. So you walk around and jump on things. That's so different from all the other non-parkour games. I would like you to tell me of a first-person shooter with jumping that does not involve walking around and jumping on things. Like, find one for me. If you can, meet me back. What the hell is the title of that GIF? I named the title of the GIF Cock and Ball Torture. You might be asking yourself, Andrew, what am I supposed to learn from this video? What's the takeaway here? What am I supposed to glean off of this 18-minute long bit of rambling? The first thing is, fuck these guys. Fuck these guys in particular. Not only because they're wrong, not only because they're stupid, and not only because they probably have tiny peens, but because they made my big baby boy, Topher, upset. How fucking dare you? Don't ever talk to me or my son ever again. The next thing, the second thing, and arguably the more important thing here, is that, you know, life sucks, and life is tough. And as you go through life, and as you're doing your thing, and you're following your dreams, and you're doing what you think is right, you're gonna come across people who are just gonna shit on you for no reason. And it's not gonna be right, it's not gonna be fair, it's not gonna make sense, but it's gonna happen. And maybe there's gonna be a ton of them. Maybe there's gonna be like 300 people in a Reddit comment section absolutely blowing chunks in your direction, right? You know, that's fine. And you gotta be able to roll with that a little bit. And look at it from a different perspective. You have to understand that the crowd is not always the ones who are right. You have to understand that in this perspective, in this point, in this instance, I can look at this like this. The same people who were saying all these crappy things to me were also the same people who were upvoting comments about how I ripped the code from an entirely different engine and an entirely different language. And that's so stupid, you know? So it's the same people who were saying all these mean things were also saying things that made no fucking sense. That didn't make any sense in any particular way that you look at it. Those are the same people. Just because there's a lot of people saying this thing doesn't mean they're right. And you gotta understand that kind of concept there. Well, anyway, it is 2:45 right now for me, and I'm tired as hell. I really should not have stayed up this late, because I'm going to really regret this in the morning. But, you know, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I know this is like a super stupidly long video. Easily the longest one I've made. But it just kind of bothered me, and I wanted to get it out of my system. But, you know, now that it's out, I feel a lot better. Thanks for listening.